throughout my lower school years, I had a few challenges there with keeping up with the rest of the students. And so it had come to a point where I was so upset about my reading and writing. And I was actually told, unfortunately, JT, since he can't keep up with the rigorous program here and cannot read and write, JT will not be able to attend, the school in the fall.
And this is where they also said he'd be illiterate for life, and that we as a family would need to adjust and cope. We had already been trying a lot of programs. It was coming in on the fall, and the Gunthe family we knew had this successful program for some of their kids. And that's where we met Steve. As you can tell, we've had huge success within just 5 days. And at the end we met with Steve on a Monday, and that day, JT thought, what did you think?
That first interaction with Steve was such an encouragement for me. And the reason for the encouragement was because being able to show me multi-syllable words and for me to break those words down, it gave me that encouragement that there is something to this and that something is going to happen. And I ran out into the parking lot, skipping and hopping and telling my mom and dad that I can read. And and at this point, we had tried many reading programs, from Linda Mood Bell to Hooked on Phonics to Discovery Read, and
Gillingham,
countless programs, and we never had the success, the encouragement, the excitement. And I always refer back to the classical flip books, but Steve's program was so much more fun and exciting for me and different. For the first time, I was, in the backseat of the car coming home, trying to read
signs, and we had never had that before. So we thought, well, there must be something to it, because I actually didn't even want to go to this meeting because we've tried so much. I was frustrated. I didn't want to set JT up for more failure. So in that we had all the success in just one day, we decided to continue it on. And by Friday, I had JT's teacher calling me from school asking, well, what are you guys up to now? And she said, because as usual, when I give out the assignment, I go around and help kids, and then I get to JT, who needs the most help. And when I got to him today, he had already started it. He said he read it.
Now, Chris and Jim and whoever set up this meeting with all the people who said JT wouldn't read. 110 people in a gym, and he read to the group and then a lesson. And then JT, what happened after that?
Afterwards, there was individuals in the community that, knew of my severe dyslexia and my challenges with school. And one individual in particular came up to the front of the room and said, basically said, I don't believe this. You rehearsed this, And so Steve said, well, give me something you have and I'll show you. And so I think she pulled out a receipt, right? And you had me sit down and read through the receipt, and she was in awe and disbelief of how that
and tears. Now this was April, and she had just worked with JT in the fall up to Christmas and tried every technique and every little trick she thought she had up her sleeve, and so she really didn't believe it. Yeah. But anyway, because of that great successful night, the community at large has accepted the FAST program.
No, I ended up at the school that said I couldn't go to it. Basically said, we'd love to have you back. Yep, went to High Point University and graduated from there. One of the goals that Steve really pushed me to do and encouraged me to do was to write a book. And so I actually wrote a book, and it's called Untether. And it is a book that describes a ton about my education and about my time with Steve and growing, stronger in my reading and writing. And as I always make a joke is I'm the dyslexic kid who wrote a book. And